Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. It's Nicole Green here, and if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any videos from me. And also don't forget you can follow me on social media at Nicole the Scientist on Instagram. Today I wanted to do a video about some marriage tips that I think are very beneficial. These are tips that I do daily and I make sure I practice daily in my marriage. I've been married for about 4 years. It'll be 4 years in April, and I've been with my husband for a total of 7 years, and we pretty much do have a happy, very happy marriage. My husband is my best friend and we're very close, and I really want to continue to go on this journey with him, but I do want to share with you some tips that I think helped me sustain a happy marriage and what helped me and led me to get married. So if you're interested in some marriage tips, then stick around. Also, if you're not married or if you're in a serious relationship and you're working towards getting married, I think these tips will be very beneficial too as well. These can be some good tips that you can start practicing now so that you are equipped and you are prepared for marriage when you do get married. Marriage tip number 1 that I would like to share with you is not to nag. I know it's important to communicate with your partner when they do things that you don't like. However, you don't want to find yourself in a habit of always complaining, always having a nasty attitude, always nagging. That's going to drive your husband away from you. Instead, you want to make sure that you have a positive attitude and make sure that you're really upbeat, because that's going to attract him to want to spend time with you and look forward to seeing you and hanging out. So if you can try and avoid not to nag and only complain about things that are worth complaining about or things that are worth communicating about, that will help a lot to avoid nagging. Marriage tip number 2 that I would like to share with you is to be respectful. And that means be respectful in the way that you dress. You don't want to elicit attention from other men, even on social media, at work, wherever you are. You want to make sure that you are not trying to solicit any attention from other men. Also, don't talk bad about your husband. Don't talk bad about him to other people, and also don't belittle him or don't try and embarrass him in front of people. If you have a dispute or an argument, try and wait until you get home to discuss it, opposed to trying to belittle him or embarrass him or make fun of him in front of people. Also, you want to make sure you be respectful of your husband's opinions and his wishes. You want to make sure that you let him know that you do respect him as a man. So you want to make sure you practice being respectful to your husband. The third marriage tip that I would like to share with you is physical appearance. I think that it's important to keep your physical appearance up to par. That means like staying in shape, wearing makeup sometimes, making sure your hair is always in place and nice, making sure your undergarments are up to par. You want to make sure you have nice, clean, new and exciting undergarments and bras and panties and things of that nature. That's going to also keep you confident and make you confident, and that's going to keep the sex appeal going for yourself. So you want to make sure that your husband has something good to look at, and you want to make sure your physical appearance is up to par. You don't want to feel like, oh, I'm married now, I don't have to do much, or my husband isn't going to go anywhere. You want to make sure that you continue to make sure he has something beautiful to look at. So that means getting your hair done, staying in shape, making sure you're stylish and things of that nature. Marriage tip number 4, you want to make sure that you show appreciation. You want to constantly show your husband that you appreciate him. It's okay to say thank you and to say please, even when your husband do small things for you, or sometimes when you ask your husband to do things for you. It's okay to make sure that you use your manners and say please and thank you. Also, it's a good idea to let your husband know every now and then that you do appreciate him and that you do value him. Marriage tip number 5. I think it's very important to make sure you keep your home organized. I think that you should make a daily conscious effort to not be junky, because if things get junky and out of control, then that's going to be more things that you have to clean up, and it's going to be more of a hassle. So if you make a daily effort to make sure things are organized, then the cleaning will be easy for you. And if you work full-time like I do myself and you are married, a good thing is to take time on the weekends, Saturday mornings and Sunday mornings. You want to make sure you're getting up and getting the laundry done for the week, making sure you Clean the kitchen and keep the bathrooms clean. This may seem small, but no man wants to come home to a nasty, junky house, and I think that it shows good character to make sure your home is always clean and organized, as well as making sure the bills are organized. So you want to make sure things are paid on a timely manner. You want to make sure the taxes are being done. You want to make sure that you are keeping your home organized. Marriage tip number 6, show interest in his interests. So I think that is very important to show interest in things that your husband might be interested in. These can be like TV shows, hobbies, traveling. These things will create great bonding opportunities for you and your husband, and it also will help you build a friendship with him. And you might end up realizing that you do end up liking something after all. So make sure that you aren't always separating yourself or segregating yourself from things that he likes to do. You know, instead of saying, well, I don't like that, or I'm not interested in that, maybe give it a try and see if you actually like it, because it will definitely help build the friendship within your marriage, and it'll also create great bonding opportunities for you and your husband. Last but not least, a very important marriage tip is choose your fights wisely. So every time you approach your husband with something that may spark into an argument or a debate, think about it before you approach him and make sure that it's worth fighting. If it's not something that's very important, then maybe you should not even bring it up at all. This goes back to nagging, so you don't want to be nagging. So sometimes the way you approach your husband, or some things that you might approach your husband about, might not even be that important. So make sure you think wisely before you elicit any arguments or any type of debates in your marriage. You want to make sure you're picking your fights wisely, because sometimes you might fight and you might end up finding that this was stupid. Why are we even fighting over something like this? So very important to make sure you pick your fights wisely. I hope you enjoyed these 7 marriage tips that I shared with you today. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to my channel. If you are married, or if you're in a serious relationship and you have any other tips that you think are important, make sure you leave them in the comment section below. I'll definitely get back to you. If you have any questions, leave them below and I'll definitely get back to you as well. Thanks so much for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.